A busy summer season for the 2022 Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship sees the series make its second visit of the year to Lydden Park in Lincolnshire for round 5 of the series. Around 50 cars are here, with cars of all shapes, sizes and ages to do battle across the various classes. Darren Bleasdale arriving unbeaten in the super modified class with the lead overall in the championship with all classes combined. We'll wait to see who will win the various A finals on offer here today in the sunny Lincolnshire conditions on the mixed surface tarmac and dirt course here at the Lydden Park Driving Centre. Before we begin our roundup of the action, let's take a lap of Lydden Park. We're on board with Todd Crooks in his super modified class BMW Mini. This former airfield here in the Lincolnshire countryside, heading down the tarmac first straight into turn 1, the left-hander. Tighter left takes them towards the infield section. Todd taking a wide line there. And we go across the old runways here at this former aerodrome, owned by the Ginetta Sports Car Company. Onto the loose, gets very bumpy through here as the day goes on, and then to the tightest corner on the circuit, this right-handed hairpin around the straw bales. Face full of dust from the car ahead, Dale Ford in the Vauxhall Corsa. Then another double left-hander over the loose, and then up towards the famous Lydden jump. The car's not getting too much air over there because of the tight corners beforehand. Then it's down the back of the course, through the straw bales and the cones, through the chicane there, along this short straight section. Then a little flick to the right, and then into a tighter left-hander, a double left here, looping the cars back around towards the paddock, and then it's up to a final right-hander towards the start-finish line, signalling what will be the end of 6 laps in the A finals today. Further left, back onto the front straight, and that is a lap of the Lydden Park Rallycross course. We begin our roundup of the action with the Cooper Tyres junior category. Only 2 rounds of heats held today here at Lydden due to a delay early in the day. The heats won by Will Ovenden in the red Suzuki Swift. Second heat won by Owen Robbins in the blue car. He's on pole. 6 Suzuki Swifts get underway. These drivers aged 14 to 17 years of age. Rallycross stars of tomorrow get underway. Owen Robbins and Will Ovenden together into the first corner. Ovenden trying to go around the outside. The man from Kent attempting to take the lead. He's gone too wide there into turn 2 and will lose out to Owen Robbins in the blue car, the number 927, and Corey Paget has come through up into second place as well in number 326. Ovenden in third place. He's further down in the championship points because he missed the weekend at Pembrey earlier in the year. Paget up alongside Robbins. We've seen a few ding-dongs between those two this season, but it's Owen Robbins who just about halts the lead there as they go up towards the jump for the first time. Pulls a car length or so clear of Corey Paget in second place. Ovenden in third place. Then we've got Tyler McAlpine in car number 10. Rounding out the field, Holly Woolley and James Hawkes in these identical 1300cc Suzuki Swifts. Coming round to complete the opening lap, it is Owen Robbins, the former mini stocks racer on the short ovals, who leads the way, the reigning junior category champion. Chased by Corey Paget trying to hold off. The very quick Will Ovenden comes from a rallycrossing family based at the Lydden Hill circuit in Kent. His family's businesses have recently been involved in reshaping Lydden Hill as well, putting in the new banked first corner at Chessons Drift, as again Ovenden goes out wide there on the first corner. Looks almost as if he's trying to take a joker lap, doesn't he? There's no joker laps at Lydden. Side by side there with Corey Paget trying to go through for second. Will Ovenden goes through as they go onto the loose. Tyler McAlpine keeping in touch in fourth place. Third in the points coming into this round, behind the very closely battling Robbins and Paget at the top of the points charts. There's the dark blue car further back, that's Holly Woolley. And James Hawkes, the latest member of his extensive rallycross family, at the back of the field. Owen Robbins escaping at the front then in the 927. And through the cones there goes Corey Paget. Behind the straw bales as well. Didn't gain any advantage there, so I don't think he'll get a penalty, possibly just a warning from the officials just for cutting that chicane. Stays in third place as they head up towards the right-hander and the end of the second lap. Robbins leads, Ovenden second, Paget third. Closing up on them, number 10 of Tyler McAlpine. So in Robbins extending his lead, McAlpine certainly closing here. He's up onto the back bumper of Corey Paget. See his father Phil Chicken out a little later on in his Citroen C2, the reigning super modified class champion. Round the left towards the jump once again. one more lap to go after this. Owen Robbins clear at the front, and Will Ovenden now trying to chase him down. It's between these two at the front of the field, but as we said earlier, Will Ovenden not in contention for the points lead here because he missed the double-header round at Pembrey in South Wales. There'll be another double-header coming up soon at Pembrey for the series as well, before the finale in Scotland at Knockhill. Tyler McAlpin all over the back now of Corey Paget. This is the best we've seen Tyler run this year. It's up there on the tail of the 326. It's the 927 and the number 5 fighting it out for the lead. Ovenden runs wide, he always does there, coming out of turn 1. Bounces over the pothole on the outside. We're on the last lap of this Cooper Tyres Junior Category A final. Is it going to be another round win for Owen Robbins? Run wide there on the hairpin. It's going to be close in the points if it stays like this as well, with Corey Paget holding third place. We're in for an interesting run into the season between Paget and Robbins, I would think, for the points lead. We'll see what Will Ovenden does. I don't think he can catch up now, having missed 2 rounds in Wales. And it is the 927 who is going to take the win here. Ovenden is not going to catch him. It's Owen Robbins, the man from the southwest of England, who comes around towards the final corner. It is going to be a win for the 927. There's the checkered flag. Owen Robbins wins the Junior A final. Second for Will Ovenden. A long way back is the battle for third place. Is Corey Paget going to hold on? Yes, he is, but by less than a car's length ahead of a determined Tyler McAlpin. Holly Woolley is further back in 5th place as the cars return to the paddock following that A final. Here's Holly Woolley quite a way behind. Burning year in her first season of Rallycross. Robbins the winner by 1.2 seconds ahead of Will Ovenden. Some 9 seconds further back, Corey Paget holding on by less than half a second ahead of McAlpin, Woolley and James Hawkes completing the 6 cars in the Cooper Tyres Junior Category A final. Owen Robbins now leads by just 1 point ahead of Corey Paget.
My heartfelt congratulations go to you, Owen, for winning the junior final today. How was it?
It was great, honestly. After the first corner, it was just trying to set as fast times as I could, really, and it was great fun.
It's been quite a weekend for you, one way and another.
Yeah, it has. Birthday yesterday, so yeah, it's been a good weekend.
Yeah. What a great way to celebrate your 17th birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, congratulations for today. Very, very well raced all day. You've ended up on the top step of the podium.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you at the next one.
Next up is the All-Tool UK and Avio Suspension Modified category. And their final was red flagged after Alan Laidler, who was running second in his Citroen Saxo, came to a halt at the hairpin while chasing Alex Fletcher for the lead in his Honda Civic on lap 3. Fletcher thinking he would have a solo run to the flag as a result of that, but the race was stopped and Laidler, given the benefit of the doubt, was allowed to restart because he's the only 2 cars here in the Avio Suspension and All-Tool UK modified class today. It's a new class over the last 2 seasons. The race restarted over the full distance, and Alex Fletcher in the Loughborough College run Honda Civic went into the lead. Still effectively a production spec car, that one, being chased by Alan Laidler in the Saxo. Laidler was chasing James Avison in the first appearance at Blyton this year, but spun his Saxo and dropped back through the field. So Blyton certainly not one of his favourite venues, but he's giving good chase to Alex Fletcher in this restarted A final. James Avison, the championship leader, not out this weekend in his Ford Focus. This is a chance for 218 Alex Fletcher to try and close up at the top of the points. Alan Laidler does seem to be dropping back there. The Saxo not running at its best. He'll be a safe third in the points though at the conclusion of play today. The other drivers we've seen in the modified category this year: Steve Gaunt with his Renault Clio, David Hughes, and also Rob Tinto with his Ford Puma as well. There it is, Alex Fletcher able to cruise to another A final victory in the modified category, making a return to racing this year after cancer treatment. It's great to see Alex back out, and all his students will be cheering him on. It's the Loughborough College motorsport engineering students who run this car. They've certainly prepared a great car for Alex to drive. He is heading for victory here at Blyton Park in the modified category. Out of the final corner, up to the checkered flag, a clear win for the Loughborough College Honda Civic, and Alan Laidler, Saxo surviving the distance this time for second place. Alex Fletcher takes another A final win, 5 seconds clear of Alan Laidler, closes the gap to 3 points on James Avison.
Congratulations, Alex. I'm delighted to see you got your helmet off your head despite your huge grin. That was a great win.
Thank you. Yeah, it's another great win. Obviously 2 wins on the bounce now, so that's really good, obviously, for the college and everyone who's got this car to where it has. You know, we've got lots of sponsors, we've got Smart Solutions, KGF Classic Cars, Design 365. They've all really pushed to obviously get the car to where we want it to be. So Bill Stein UK have been helping us a lot, so that's really good. So yeah, and obviously the students working hard back at the college, so to get that car up where it needs to be, so fantastic.
And very much hands-on today as well.
Yes, yeah, you've got to be. You know, you've got to lead by example. So yeah, I can't be sitting there just drinking a beer. Well, a normal drink. So.
A non-alcoholic one will allow you. Yeah. But it seemed to be a fairly straightforward race for you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Obviously, we'd like to see more cars here and have a proper race, and that's what we're here for, obviously, for the fans and to give a good race. So yeah, hopefully next time.
Indeed. Well, congratulations, Alex. Delighted for you. Well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, great wins there for Owen Robbins and for Alex Fletcher in our first 2 A finals of the day. The Loughborough College team certainly enjoying that victory for Alex in the Honda Civic as well, here in the sunshine of Lydden Park here at round 5 of the 2022 Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. Cars now getting ready to go in the Cooper Tyres production 4x4 category. 3 entries today, unfortunately one of them suffering problems in the heat. Chris Baker in his Subaru, a non-starter in the final. He won the first heat. It was Paul Davis who won heat number 2 in his Subaru, but it's Tomas Ramanauskas, the Lithuanian driver in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4, who goes into the lead at the start of the A final, chased by Paul Davis in the R1 Motorsport prepared Subaru Impreza, a former champion in the category, and he's on the bumper almost there of Tomas Ramanauskas. As we go into the hairpin, Ramanauskas kicks the tail out, so does Davis. Very tight, you can see through that hairpin. It's almost the classic rallying duel, isn't it? Mitsubishi Lancer against Subaru Impreza, Tommy Mackinnon against Colin McRae and so forth. It's Tomas Ramanauskas against Paul Davis here today, and it's the Lithuanian who leads the way, looking to extend his points lead at the top. A great first season with the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. Paul Davis trying his hardest, the Subaru looking a little unwieldy around the Blyton Park circuit. He's dropped back considerably from Tomas Ramanauskas. Not been the best of seasons for Paul Davis. Certainly Ramanauskas looks to be the favourite for the title here. A shame Chris Baker couldn't join them after some problems with his Subaru Impreza in the heats, after winning the first heat as well. It is going to be a win for Tomas Ramanauskas in the Cooper Tyres production 4x4 category. Takes the checkered flag, another win for the Mitsubishi. Certainly breaking the dominance of the Subarus in this category over the last few years. It's going to be Paul Davis, the only other runner home in second place, having dropped back in the closing stages. Victory for Tomas Ramanauskas then, nearly 14.5 seconds his winning margin over Paul Davis in second, and increasing his points lead as well. Chris Baker and on start.
Congratulations, Thomas.
Thank you very much.
A win in the sun.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a very hard day, really. First run was a bit just to test the track. Second run was thinking just to start not from pole position but from second place in the middle, but things was cancelled one race. That's why I became on outside. Didn't want to be from outside, but I said if I'm gonna have the very perfect start, I will win the race. And it happened again.
You seem to have a very commanding lead there, although it wasn't straightforward because it looked very slippery out there.
Yeah, because on the first run, the tires was like not new, but you know, cold ones. So it was really slippery, but it done the job.
You had some fun at the chicane there, the hairpin, I should say, in the final.
Yes, on that corner, just I saw that Paul Davis bit, you know, got a gap. So just try to do a couple of things, for the future, how to get in that corner, a bit quicker.
And have some fun at the same time.
Yes, of course. Nearly was spinning around, nearly. I think so the crew was a bit up, but...
It wasn't just the crew doing that. But no matter what, congratulations on a very good win, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bone Street Autos BMW Mini category is next, and oh dear, a tangle right into turn one. Nick Abbott and championship leader Andy Hawkes getting caught up there. Nick Abbott won one of the heats, Abby McGuinness won the other. It's McGuinness who leads the way at the front of the field ahead of Harrison Barnes, newcomer in the number 581 car. Problems there, coming out of the hairpin, somebody has come to a halt. Oh goodness me, Nick Abbott has hit the stationary car there. It's Andy Bennett who had stopped, and Nick Abbott hits him and rolls it. Goodness gracious, the race stopped and restarted. Restart it is Andy Hawkes who leads the way. We've only been beaten once in an A final this year. Abby McGuinness and Harrison Barnes giving chase. It's one of the Bleasdales in there. Stephen Bleasdale, the third of the brothers, in fourth position as swapping places there for second. Abby McGuinness and Harrison Barnes. Barnes makes a mistake coming out of the infield section and drops back a bit in the car previously raced by Jerrick Upchurch this season. But it is Andy Hawkes who leads the way, looking to extend his championship lead. As we said, only the one defeat in A finals so far this year. Abby McGuinness has taken a few heat wins this year, desperate for her first A final success. Chasing hard after Andy Hawkes. Third place is Harrison Barnes in the green car, then it's Stephen Bleasdale in fourth. We've lost Nick Abbott and Andy Bennett. Two restarts this race. The first one, Andy Bennett struggled and pulled up, and had to be the race had to be restarted, and then he pulls up again on the hairpin, hit by Nick Abbott, who flips over as a result there, as we saw. Another car we lost was Harvey Harmon, who qualified for this race by winning the B final. It was Ansko Pitkinen, the Finnish driver, who was second in the B final. He's a bit further back down the order. 5 cars still running there in this Bone Street Autos BMW Mini A final. Harrison Barnes giving chase, the newcomer in 581, trying to chase down Abby McGuinness, one of the leading ladies of Rallycross, in that second place. But it's still Andy Hawkes who leads the way. Comes from an extensive rallycrossing family. Goes through towards the end of another lap as we reach close to half distance. Hawkes fire number 18. Can Abby McGuinness catch him for her first A final win? Mini Stocks racer is Abby in the 614. 581, that's the ex-Upchurch car of Harrison Barnes. Penultimate lap now over the jump. The 3 leaders still together, and Barnes is not holding back here. This is impressive from Harrison Barnes, and his first appearance in the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. These identical 1600cc BMW Mini Cooper S's. First year running as a standalone category. Battle is on for second place. This is allowing Andy Hawkes to get away slightly as they go into the final lap in the sunshine of Blyton Park. Drier conditions than we had at the first round. It was sunny weather on that occasion, but rain in the lead up to the event left the infield section in particular very muddy. No problem there this time. It's going to be another win for Andy Hawkes. It's going to be 4 A finals out of 5 this year for the number 18, the Hawkes Fire car. Bouncing over the infield there, the second and third place battle. And there's Ansko Pitkinen, second in the B final. He's further back. It looks like one of the Bell Rallycross run BMW Minis. David Bell, a multiple champion in this category, now running and maintaining these cars. B final winner Harvey Harmon didn't take the restart. Of course, we lost Nick Abbott and Andy Bennett as well. But it is going to be a win for Andy Hawkes as he keeps up his challenge for the title. It's going to be well clear in the points of Abby McGuinness, who looks like he's going to hold on for second ahead of impressive newcomer Harrison Barnes. But it's going to be a win for Andy Hawkes. There's the checkered flag. McGuinness comes home in second place. Barnes a fine third. And then further back, Stephen Bleasdale will take fourth, the youngest of the 3 rallycrossing brothers. And Ansko Pitkinen will complete the 5 finishers in our Bone Street Autos BMW Mini A final. Hawkes hanging on in front on that restart, so 1.36 seconds his winning margin over Abby McGuinness, with Harrison Barnes challenging hard but having to settle for third place. Stephen Bleasdale fourth, and Ansco Picnic completing the 5 finishes, because Harvey Harman, Nick Abbott and Andy Bennett did not take the restart. Andy Hawkes increasing his points lead.
Well, that was a bit of a mammoth final. I'm pleased that it finally finished.
I'm not sure how many laps we absolutely ran, but third time lucky for me, and managed to get the win. So another win for the championship.
And it was just as well it was the second one, because you went from leading the first time round to being last of all.
Last, yeah. Just Nick got punted me in the side, and ended up into the back. It had been hard work to get through some of them, but restart off the line and just went and done it. So I'm pleased for the day. It's been a hard day. It's been a warm day, but it's been great. We've had 10 minis out. The class is coming on. Bone Street Auto Motors repairs. The class is just getting brilliant, and long may it continue.
Well, congratulations on another win, Andy, and it won't have done your championship situation any harm.
Three wins in a second, I think, and on to Pembrey in September. So I'll try there again. I like Pembrey now.
Well, we'll see you then. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And the next race in our roundup is the A final for the AS Performance Super Modified category. Darren Bleasdale looking to make it 5 A final wins out of 5, although he was beaten in Heat 1 by Darren Scott in the blue Citroen C2 in the middle of the front row. Bleasdale won the second heat. His VX220 Vauxhall is on pole. Gary Cook's Fiesta completing the front row. We're on board with Todd Crooks in the BMW Mini. Had a few problems in his heats, starting from the back of the grid. 6 laps get underway. Bleasdale gets his usual rocket start from pole position. Good start by Michelle Swallow in the pink Porsche as well. Into the first corner we go. Which way is Todd Crooks going to go? Going to try and go around the outside of the Porsche, chasing Dale Ford, the former overall champion. That was in the production category, now in super modified with his Vauxhall Corsa. Running wide there, Todd Crooks onto the grass as they head down towards the hairpin, chasing Swallow and Ford into the hairpin. A little bit of rubbing between those two, and Swallow throws the Porsche sideways. It's Darren Bleasdale who leads the way in the Vauxhall VX220. Brother Jason won the overall title in this same car last season, and Darren unbeaten in A finals so far this year. Darren Scott up there in second place in the C2. Third place Gary Cook, another former overall champion, at the wheel of his Ford Fiesta. Phil Chicken, the reigning super modified champion, in fourth place. Of course, it was Jason Bleasdale who was the top super modified last year, but due to a quirk of the regulations, if you win the overall title, you don't also win your category title. It gives more drivers chances to win trophies. So Phil Chicken, who was second in super modified effectively, was the champion, if you see how I mean. Todd Crooks challenging Dale Ford here in the SG Haulage sponsored Vauxhall Corsa. BMW Mini goes through into turn 2, moving up from the back of the lineup here for this one. Slightly reduced field in super modified today, so no B final required. It's over the loose they go. Crooks into the right-handed hairpin. There's Michelle Swallow keeping up nicely in the pink Porsche Boxster this time. Had a few incidents in that car this year, including a collision with Todd Crooks at Pembrey. Both cars repaired and back out here at Blyton. Gary Cook in the orange Fiesta, chased by the experienced Phil Chicken in the Citroen C2. So 2 C2s in the top 4, with Darren Scott giving chase to our race leader, Darren Bleasdale, in the Vauxhall VX220. But that Vauxhall's so quick in a straight line. It's become a bit one-sided, it has to be said, in super modified this year. You can see in the background there the lead that the VX220 has got. Main battle is for third place. There is Bleasdale. It doesn't look like a rallycross car to the untrained eye, the more GT or sports car looking Vauxhall VX220. We've seen Lotus Exeges in rallycross as well over the years. 3 or 4 examples have taken part. Very rapid cars indeed, certainly the quickest on the tarmac, as we can see here down the back of the circuit. Right flick into the double left-hander towards the end of the lap, back towards the paddock. Gary Cook pulling away slightly from Phil Chicken in third place. Todd Crooks making the move up from the back of the grid up into 5th place, chasing them down. There's Darren Scott in a rather lonely second place. Raced this Citroen C2 for quite a few years now. Beat Darren Bleasdale only by a few tenths of a second in Heat 1. Bleasdale won the second heat to take pole for the A final, and he's away and gone once again. Three of the Bleasdales. It'd be great to see them all out racing together. We've seen Steve Bleasdale make his debut recently in the BMW Minis. So Jason is building another VX220 as well, so we'll see them both out together in Super Modified. Todd Crooks continues his chase of Phil Chicken, trying to take 4th place. We're on the last lap now. Gary Cook holding 3rd. This is the best we've seen him run this year in the Fiesta. Won the overall title a few years ago in an MGZR, if I remember correctly. Gary, a college lecturer by profession. Runs out wide there at turn 1. Holding on in the Fiesta. Ahead of Phil Chicken. We saw his son Corey Padgett out in the juniors earlier on. Maybe he'll be racing this Citroen C2 someday, who knows? Down towards the sharp right-handed hairpin. Well ahead of them is Darren Bleasdale. He is heading for victory. Down towards the final corner. There's the marshal with the checkered flag, and Darren Bleasdale makes it 5 final wins out of 5 this year. It's going to be Darren Scott in a lonely 2nd place. He tried his hardest. He won Heat 1, but will have to settle for 2nd place once again. He'll be 2nd in the points as well, behind Darren Bleasdale. He takes the flag for 2nd place. We'll wait for the 3rd place fight to come through. It's going to be Gary Cook just ahead of Phil Chicken, and Todd Crooks closing well on the last lap, but he has to settle for 5th position. Further back in the order, we'll have Dale Ford in the Corsa, and here comes Michelle Swallow in that remarkable bewinged Porsche. She will complete the finishes. So Darren Bleasdale winning by over 16 seconds to make it 5 final wins out of 5 this year and increases points lead over Darren Scott in 2nd. Cook just beating Chicken and Crooks home for 3rd place, then Dale Ford and Michelle Swallow completing the 7 finishers. Phil Chicken cementing 3rd place in the points chart. It's Darren Bleasdale unbeaten.
It's another race meeting, another final, and Darren's on top of the podium again. Well done.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, trying to keep the streak going, keep the Bleasdale name on top. Jason's doing well in the British, I'm doing well here, so hopefully keeping the team going on top.
You're certainly doing your part of it, Darren.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it was a bit of a tough day, just battling with all the dust and everything. It's really dusty and it's hard, as you can see in the windscreen. It's pretty hard to see towards the last couple of laps, the heat, exhaustion and stuff, but battled through it and just glad I could keep it clean ahead.
And kept it clean, kept it in control.
Yeah. I enjoyed that final there. There wasn't as much water, it wasn't as slippery, so I could have a bit of fun with it, a bit of slide race fun. Can't complain, can you?
Oh no, not complaining at all. That was great to see, and racking up the points well for the championship.
Yeah. Hopefully keep the streak going. Hopefully next time. I think it's Pembrey next. I think it's a double header, so hopefully we can keep it going. And I know I've got Andy Hawks hot on my heels, only a couple of points behind. He's won again, so I just need to keep in front.
Well done, Darren. Great performance again, and look forward to seeing more.
Great, thank you. Can't wait.
Next up we have the FIA Cross Car Series. Second appearance of them this year. The two 600cc buggies of Luke Holly and Paul Batson. Luke Holly out in the lead, having won both the heats. Paul Batson had some problems in the heats, had to change his clutch ahead of the A final. Chasing in 2nd, Luke Holly into the hairpin. Oh, he's lost it, he spins. Round goes Luke Holly. 360-degree spin almost there. Manages to rejoin, mind the straw bales. Keeps it going. The new FIA Cross Cars, completely new to the BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Series this year. Made their debut a couple of rounds in. Luke Holly was the winner at Lydden Hill on their first appearance. He's looking to make it 2 out of 2 despite that spin. Such was his lead. He's been able to rejoin ahead of Paul Batson. Certainly spectacular little machines, these 600cc buggies. It is Luke Holly heading for victory. Nice little, almost a Scandinavian flick there through the hairpin. Able to build up his lead once again over Paul Batson, and Batson's lost it now coming in through turn 2. Certainly entertaining, despite there only being a couple of them out there. Great sounding little buggies, these machines as well. Luke Holly is heading for 2 wins out of 2 in the category so far. Towards the final couple of corners. Pops a wheel off the edge of the circuit there. Great fun to drive these little buggies, and Luke Holly comes in to take his second A final win of the season. Paul Batson further back in second place, just making his way along the back straight. So both drivers surviving a spin in that A final, and fair play to Paul Batson and his team, who, as we say, changed the clutch on that buggy to be able to make it out for the A final after it failed in the heats. He comes round the final corner to take second in the cross car final. Margin of victory in the end for Luke Holly, 23.1 seconds, surviving a spin on his way to victory over Paul Batson.
Standing with the winner of the cross kart final. Well done, Luke.
Thank you very much. It was had a bit of a moment out there when I span, but we got there in the end.
We're just adding to the drama, which everyone enjoyed.
Yeah, a bit of showboating. I lost it on the hairpin where it goes on the gravel to on back onto the tarmac. Very slippy there, and it just full 360.
And then on the final corner, you're regularly lifting the inside front wheel.
Yeah, it is lifting a little bit. Obviously, that's facing the crowd, so you've got a good view of that. But yeah, maybe need to have a adjust of stuff because I shouldn't be doing that too much.
But very enjoyable to watch, and these are the same kind of cross karts we saw racing at the Nitro meeting last week.
Yeah, they're very similar. Nitro was speed car. This is Yakar. It's all a type of cross kart. The Lydden stuff was 750, so they had the bigger engines in. We're strictly only allowed the 600 FIA karts, so they are a little bit different, but still the same chassis basically.
And a good way to get into the sport of rallycross.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what a machine to drive, and they're so responsive. You get so much out of them. So yeah, it's a fantastic way to get into the sport, and well, it's my second rallycross in one, so.
And your second win. Well, I hope that we'll be able to see a few more karts join you on the grid in future meetings.
Yeah, hopefully Pembrey. We were meant to have a few more here, but we had a few delays, Ukraine situation, so on. But the next round, hopefully, we'll have 4 of them. So.
We very much look forward to seeing those and seeing you again.
We have a secret guest as well who's going to join us for the next round. So we're bringing in a driver. I think a lot of people here will know him.
So tune in next time.
A bit of a cliffhanger for you.
Well, congratulations, Luke. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers for that.
Well, a great drive by Darren Bleasdale once again, remaining unbeaten, will keep his overall championship lead, and Luke Holly with 2A final wins out of 2 as well. Interesting to hear from Luke there. I wonder who that new driver's going to be in the next round for the cross cars. We continue the action here at Lydden Park in Lincolnshire. The next race we will take a look at is the A final for the production category. Carl Jarvis and Kai Mannering, the 2 heat winners, heading the grid in their Saxo and Peugeot 106. Welcome returnee Martin Peters in his Saxo, completing the front row of this 8-car grid. Charlie Titcombe and Sam Noy, the 2 B final qualifiers, at the back of it. It's the 2 heat winners making a good start. The blue Saxo of Carl Jarvis will lead into the first corner. Mark Henry with a good start as well in the Alfa Romeo 147, but Martin Peters rather getting hung out to dry around the outside there. He has dropped back. All through turns 1 and 2 okay for the first time, and it is Carl Jarvis, perhaps the most experienced driver on this grid, who leads the way from newcomer this season Kai Mannering from Wales in the number 72 Peugeot. There's 606 Samuel Noy, started at the back of the grid, was second in the B final behind 401 Charlie Titcombe. He's eager to make up the lost points after those mechanical problems he had in the previous round at Lydden Hill. Noy being chased by 212 Dan Cofield at the wheel of the Peugeot 206. 106 there in second is Kai Mannering. Alfa Romeo in third place, driven by Mark Henry, the only Alfa Romeo in Rallycross. 401 Titcombe is fourth. Martin Peters in fifth position. There is Dan Cofield in that Peugeot 206. This production A final, sponsored by SG Haulage and AVO Suspension. Is it going to be a win for Carl Jarvis? No one driver has dominated the production category this season. Charlie Moroney was going well in the early rounds. Unfortunately, he rolled his Citroën Saxo in Heat 1 today and was out of the event, so no A final for Charlie. There's Martin Peters in 626, making a return to Rallycross here today. Battle further back there, Sam Noy gets pushed out wide by Dan Cofield. Always a very combative driver is Dan. We saw him have a few spins at Pembrey earlier this year in that Peugeot. James Ash in the Citroën C2 running at the back of the field. Production category has provided the overall champion a couple of times in recent years. Dale Ford, now in Super Modified of course, was overall champion a couple of years ago. Jeff Hope Davies, the Welshman, as well in his Saxo a few years before that. The points combined together in the various categories to give the overall champion every year. It certainly looks as though it's going to be Darren Bleasdale this year, but we'll wait and see what happens at Pembrey and Knockhill in the rounds to come. Leaders string out around the tarmac section of the Blyton Park circuits. Carl Jarvis going clear in the number 644. Mark Henry starting to close a little now on Kai Mannering for second place. What a great debut season Kai Mannering has had. Carl Jarvis will be leading the points if things stay like this, and Kai Mannering will be up in second place because with Charlie Maroney not scoring in this A final after his accident in the heats, he is okay, but the car battered and bruised. He will slip down the points chart as a result. Consistency is what you need in the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. One non-score and it could finish off your title hopes. Jarvis leads, 2 laps to go this time. Mark Henry closing up. Had a great consistent year in his Alfa Romeo. First 3 going clear now. The battle for 4th position between these two. Charlie Titcombe, the former junior racer, and Martin Peters in their Saxos. Charlie Titcombe had a round win at Pembrey earlier this year, but some mechanical problems stymied his efforts at Lydden. Peters, his first appearance of the season in the 626. 2 names missing this round. Darrell Ambrose not here, nor Dan Pollard, nor Mark Finch. We normally see them in the mix. The car that was eliminated in the B final was the Ford Fiesta of Ryan Green, the only car not to make the A final other than Charlie Maroney, sadly. As the 4th place battle heads over the jump. First 3 on their penultimate lap, coming down towards the double left-hander towards the end of the lap. Jarvis nearly clipping the tyre stack there on the inside. It's a fairly close competitive race here for the SG Haulage JVO suspension production category. They may be smaller and less powerful cars than their cousins in modified and super modified, but certainly entertaining. Very closely matched, these little cars. Peugeots, Citroëns, plus that Alfa Romeo of Mark Henry. On the final lap now, it's looking good for Carl Jarvis, unless Kai Mannering can produce something special here. Cracking debut season the Welshman has had. He's closing up here, he's less than a car length behind now. He's having a look down the outside into the hairpin. I don't think he'll get through there. No, he goes out wide into the dust. Tighter line taken by Mark Henry in the Alfa Romeo. This is going to be close. What can Kai Mannering do down the back straight? Has he got the power under the bonnet of that 106 to catch the Saxo of Carl Jarvis in these final couple of corners? This could be our closest finish of the day so far. Can he catch Carl Jarvis? There's 1 left and 1 right-hand corner to go. Jarvis clips a cone on the inside there. Mannering nearly runs over it. This is going to be close. Can he have a look down the inside? It's the final corner. He's not quite going to get there. Carl Jarvis just hangs on to take the win ahead of Kai Mannering. That was close. 3rd place goes to Mark Henry, and Charlie Titcombe holds off Martin Peters for 4th place. We've lost James Ash further back on the last lap there. He's pulled up, unfortunately. Dan Cofield comes in with the Peugeot 206, and Sam Noy in 606 will be the final finisher. It's like the exhaust hanging off on his car. So it is a win for Carl Jarvis by less than half a second ahead of Kai Mannering. Mark Henry 3rd, less than 2 seconds covering the top 3. Great race there for the production class. Charlie Titcombe just held off Martin Peters, then further back Dan Cofield, Sam Noy, and sadly James Ash pulling up on the final lap. And that gives Carl Jarvis the production category points lead ahead of the number 72 of Mannering.
That looked like a great race, Carl.
Been a good
what was it like for you?
It's been a good day in total, to be honest. I mean, a heat 1 win, a heat 2 win. Obviously no heat 3 because of what's been going on today, but yeah, an easy drive in the end. Just sat out the front and kept my foot down.
And car behaving itself?
Yeah, I mean, we've completely rebuilt the car over the 2 years that I've owned it, so we know every inch of it, and it's performing very well this season.
Glad to see it, and it's a competitive field out there.
It is, yeah. Production always is, because they're all the same horsepower, same stuff we're allowed to do to it. So yeah, it is always competitive, and a little bit of rubbing is racing.
Indeed, it is. And we've got a few weeks now before the next race in Pembury. Any more modifications or changes?
Yeah, I might raise the front of the suspension a little bit. This is an old suspension that I used to use, but find that it works quite well. So I'm going to send it away and get them to make it a little bit higher up on the suspension for us for Pembury, because it's a bit more rutty there. So.
Indeed, it is. Now, how are you going to celebrate?
Drive all the way home. Yeah, got a 3-hour drive home, so I'm going to drive home and have a few cold beers when I get home.
And well deserved they are too. Well done, Carl. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now time for the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic Division. Heat wins went to John Cross and Jamie McBain, his first heat win in the Peugeot 205. But it's the Lancia Stratos of John Cross in pole position. He blasts off into the lead. Great start by Richard Moroney in the Escort from the second row as well. But Cross is already away and clear at the front. Dave Crockett in the Chevette up into second place. Ryan Stutchbury running wide. Jamie McBain not the best of starts. There goes 3 wide with Stutchbury and the Escort of Moroney out of turn number 2, and I think Ryan Stutchbury's got a problem there. He's dropped back level with David Ewan in the Ford Fiesta at the back of the field. David Attiwell has come through in the Vauxhall Nova as Jamie McBain goes round the outside there. Attiwell, I think that is, has clipped a straw bale there on the hairpin. There's a bale in the middle of the road, and it is John Cross who leads the early going. There's Tom Edmonds in his Corsa. He won the B final. The other qualifier was David Ewan. It's John Cross, the winner of heat number 2, who leads. Dave Crockett in second. Yes, Ryan Stutchbury has got a problem. He's out of the race on the opening lap, sadly. That's a great shame for the R1 Motorsport prepared Peugeot. Out in front it is Cross from Crockett. Moroney in third place. Fourth is David Attiwell in the Nova, and Jamie McBain in trouble as well. The Peugeot 205 pulling up. Some damage to the front of that car. I wonder if it was him who hit that straw bale, possibly. First 4 pulling clear down the main straights. 2 cars out already, the 2 Peugeots. Tom Edmonds and David Ewan, 5th and 6th. They finish 1st and 2nd in the B final. There is McBain out of the race, gets out of his Peugeot 205 GTI. The other car here today, Helen Crooks in her classic Mini. She was eliminated in the B final. There's that straw bale, just avoided by John Cross in his incredible Lancia Stratos replica. Of course, the 70s rallying icon, this car. Not an original Stratos, this one. It is only a replica, but still very, very quick, just as the original Stratos was. There's cones everywhere coming out of the chicane there. I wonder if that's what happened to Jamie McBain, and Dave Crockett tripping over the cones there. He nearly spun, the Northern Irishman, at the wheel of his Vauxhall Chevette HSE. Richard Moroney in the Escort, the rear-wheel drive Escort in third place, fighting for the points lead in this division. Car that was pretty dominant over the last couple of rounds. Lee Wood with the Mark II Escort not here this weekend, so a chance for the others to pull away at the top. There's David Ewan, not in his famous Fiesta Evo this weekend. That car out of action, so he's in his second car, the slightly less powerful Fiesta. Moroney under fire from David Attiwell in the Vauxhall Nova. That's for third place. As Cross starts to pull away. Crockett in second place in the Chevette. Crockett and Moroney could be fighting for the points lead, in fact, after this one, but Moroney had those problems at Lydden as that bale is hit again by David Attiwell in the Nova. Hopefully Edmonds and Ewan further back won't fall over that at the hairpin. There it is, right in the middle of the road. There's a chicane in the middle of the hairpin almost now. Not that that will bother John Cross, many years of rallycross experience. Crockett being reeled in for second place by Richard Moroney and David Attiwell. There's a yellow flag out there on the penultimate corner because Jamie McBain's Peugeot has pulled up there. Richard Moroney, his son Charlie, rolling out of the action in his Saxo in Heat 1 for the production category. Closing in here on Dave Crockett. This could be close for the points lead. Doing the mathematics in my head, I would think it's Crockett who's going to take the points lead here, with Lee Wood not here this weekend with his Motorquip Escorts. Moroney could be in with a chance if he can get past the 2 ahead of him. John Cross is further down the points chart after some mechanical problems in previous rounds. He leads as they go through the hairpin, just avoiding that straw bale. And Dave Crockett has tripped over the straw bale. Who put that there, says Dave Crockett, as he spins around. Goodness me. He's recovered. The other driver's managed to miss him, but he's lost 2 places there. Through into second has gone Maroney. Third, it is David Attiwell, as they go through the scattered cones there on the chicane on the back straight. We didn't see who scattered them in this race. It could have been Jamie McBain. And we saw him do that in the previous round at Blyton this year as well. Another driver to spin there was Mark Jones, the Welshman in the Toyota MR2. He's not out this weekend. Slightly reduced entry in the Classic division. Richard Maroney is closing on our race leader, meanwhile, John Cross. They've reeled the Stratos in. Incredible little 70s rallying icon, the Lancia, the original Lancia Stratos. Up on 2 wheels there, David Attiwell in the Nova, nearly lost it. We've already had a couple of rollovers today, one in the BMW Minis and one in production. We don't want another. It's a good run by Richard Maroney, a great run by Attiwell up there fighting for a podium place. Dave Crockett will be cursing his luck having hit that straw bale, and now the 3 leaders right together as they come through towards the jump. Stratos using its extra power there. Stratos replica through the chicane. Down the back of the circuit, David Attiwell could steal second place here if he plays his cards right. Very impressive, the front wheel drive Nova against the rear wheel drive Escort. Through towards the end of the penultimate lap. Can they catch John Cross, or is it going to be a first A final win of the season for the Lancia? This example of the Stratos not in the famous Alitalia sponsorship livery. Likes of Sandro Munari and Bjorn Valdegaard with the stars in the Stratoses in its rallying days. Car that almost revolutionised rallying. Sounded incredible as well. Great to see a replica of the famous Lancia here. Can he hang on? David Attiwell nearly clips the straw bales again there, taking the hairpin very tight indeed. Through towards the jump, Attiwell trying to take second from Richard Maroney. Look at the power of the Stratos in a straight line. Almost like Darren Bleasdale's Vauxhall VX220. Similar shape as well, almost. It's going to be a win for John Cross in our Melius Limited Classic Pre-95 A final. Up towards the final corner, it looks like Maroney's going to hang on for second as well, using the power of the Escort there down that short straight. John Cross is coming in to take the flag. Maroney sideways over the line in second, and Attiwell takes third. It's going to be Dave Crockett in 4th place, and that means I think he will take the points lead. And then B final winner Tom Edmonds will come in 5th in this A final in his Vauxhall Corsa. And the man who was second in the B final, David Ewan, the Cumbrian farmer, further back in his Ford Fiesta, will complete the finishers. Well, the win goes to John Cross by Destiner second ahead of Richard Maroney, only 1.5 seconds covering the top 3. Attiwell third ahead of Crockett, who takes the points lead, then Edmonds and Ewan, and we lost the Peugeots of McBain and Stutchbury sadly on the first lap. Great stuff there from the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic category, as always.
Well, last final of the day, and John Cross, I'm so pleased that I finally get to speak to you as the winner of the final. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is round 5 and 3 DNFs and a third, so it's about time, wasn't it, for a win?
Just about, yes.
It almost didn't happen. The last 3 laps I only had second gear, so I was screaming a bit down the straight there, but I managed to hold on.
That would explain why the rest of the field were reeling you in.
Yeah, you thought I was just playing with them.
Well, I did wonder.
No, I'm not going to throw away a win. I did that at Pembury, didn't I? Playing with Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
So some quick fixes and ready for the next round in Pembury at the end of August.
Yeah, we'll be at Pembury. We've got Belgium before then, so that's another one to get out of the way. But looking forward to Pembury. I should do them all probably except Knock Hill, I would imagine.
I won't hold you up.
Don't want to cut you
other than to say
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, that wraps up the action from here in Lincolnshire at the Blyton Park Driving Centre for round 5 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship. Well done to all the drivers. Thank you to all the volunteer marshals and other officials for making the event possible as always. Could not go racing without them. Next up, we're back to South Wales for a double-header round at the Pembrey circuit. But for now, thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.